Hey y'all, what's going on? What's going on? Rise up, family. The Unlimited Show right here. Rock over Kelly. We got Ron Thomas. We got the consistent one, Dalton P. Man Smith. His face is all in the camera, by the way. You can see him saluting right now. What's good? What's good? What's good? Fire starter in the building. We got a lot to talk about. We're gonna start with these NBA playoffs, by the way. Make sure y'all like and share. This is a lot of fun. It's going down. Might even have some scroll troll patrol coming up too. All right. So let's get after it. All right. We're gonna get right after it. Obviously, last night you seen a play-in game with the Lakers and Warriors. I just want to ask people right off the jump, how did they feel about the game? I'm gonna start with Ron Thomas because he the one over here talking about Forrest Whitaker and LeBron James at the end of the game, making that 3-pointer. So I'm gonna start off with Ron Thomas, my guy. Flying high. What up?
Me, if you know me, you know I don't got no team. And I seen a really good game last night. It was very they were going after each other last night. And we had not seen no game like that in a long time. So I liked it.
Rocco, your thoughts on last night's game?
Well, Lakers versus Warriors. I mean, I watched a good amount of it because it was on prime time. It was here on the West Coast. I believe the Golden State had it for a little bit. And one thing about the Lakers that you can't deny is even though LeBron was injured, and I'm using air quotes here, injured, even though LeBron James looked like, he couldn't see, he was having vision problems, the Lakers didn't give up. They were resilient. They were that team that just wouldn't give up. They were that dog in the fight. So when it comes to the game, it was a real good game. It was real solid. I liked it. Phoenix versus LA will be interesting. I don't remember who it was that we were talking to last night, but no, the Lakers are not going to do a 4-0 sweep of the Phoenix Suns. Get out of here. Stop with that. Move on. And also, I don't know who it was in the group chat, but they were like, Lakers are going to sweep. And I'm like, put the pipe down.
Yeah, please do.
So when it comes to the game overall, to answer your question, it was really good. I enjoyed it. And Phoenix versus LA is going to be fun to watch.
Wow. 4-0 sweep. Dalton, what you think about it? Then go back to Ron.
No comment. Next. But I'll say this though. But I'm not a LeBron James fan. I mean, honestly, I thought the Warriors had it though. But somehow we all know LeBron James, he made it after his got injured though. But honestly, I just want the Lakers to lose. I could care less. So I'm just gonna say next.
Okay. So last night, for those who watched the game, this is what. Go ahead, Ron, real quick. Go ahead, Ron, before I get into it.
With the Lakers and the Suns, I just see the Suns take one game, but you don't know what you're going to get from Chris Paul. That's the only issue I got. Every time playoffs come around, Chris Paul somehow get injured. So will Chris Paul stay healthy through the whole series or what? We don't know what we're going to get from Chris Paul.
Okay. I could understand. I could understand your disdain on Chris Paul, but this is what I will say. Um, from last night, starting from last night. Last night was a great game, and last night, if you do not think that Stephen Curry should even be considered, I'm gonna say this again, considered as the MVP, you're freaking nuts. Last night, Stephen Curry showed you by himself with a bunch of G leaguers exactly what you can do and what he is. 35 points last night went down from Stephen Curry, and Stephen Curry started off the game with no 3 pointers. It was like second quarter. Shout out to Waffle Sports, by the way, for the night show that we had last night. We were watching, and we're like, oh, the Warriors are beating this team without Steph Curry going off. And then Steph Curry showed up and went off, right?
Yeah.
The only issue was, to me, is that playing with young guys and G leaguers, you've seen a couple mistakes. Caruso did did cause the one turnover on Stephen Curry. Okay, that's fine and dandy. But what I do not like is in games that are determined by silly, and when I say silly, I mean silly calls. For one, LeBron James, stop flopping. You're flopping. That's number one. That was a flop last night that he pulled with Draymond Green trying to get a flagrant, and I'm glad that the officials saw past that. But then the screens that Draymond Green was setting to, they're calling an illegal screen. I'm like, that's not an illegal screen. That's a flop. What's going on here? Like, you guys not know the difference between a set screen and a flop.
I'm glad you brought that up because if the shoe were on the other foot, if the Lakers went to the Warriors would have got the calls. You know it, and I know it. It happened in the past.
What calls we talking about, Ron?
Flopping, kicking people between the legs. I mean, if you want to tell it, you got to tell it all.
I like how he's bringing up stuff from 5 years ago, but
right, 5 years ago.
Wait a minute, it still happened. He's still the same dirty dude.
Okay, but guess what? It's 5 years ago, so what's the point?
Okay, but all I just trying to say is if the shoe were on the other foot, if the Lakers went to the Warriors would have got those calls. Yes or no?
No.
I don't think so. I don't think so. The reason why I don't think so is because, again, I honestly I don't want to do this, but I have to do it. The last 2.5 minutes of that game was so terribly officiated. It makes no sense. If I was Steve Kerr, I'd have been throwing my towel at somebody on the court. I'd have threw my towel at one of them. Like, legitimately, you got to let the games play out. And they even the commentators was saying this. Let them play ball. You heard that. If you watch the game, you heard them saying that. Let them play ball. Like, these kind of games going down to the wire and they're being determined by this type of stuff is annoying. And I think some of even the commentators are starting to get annoyed and starting to really see that. And they're starting to be more vocal in that aspect. Really. One hell of a game last night. I will not take away the shot from LeBron James. That was a hell of a shot from the side. Hell of a shot. AKA Dalton said Forrest Whitaker. Look at his face. He's like, Forrest Whitaker.
Hey, look, let me ask this, because you were talking about the NBA playoffs. Now, the Eastern Conference, Philadelphia and Brooklyn, that's pretty much been the main two from the East. But with the West, if Utah and Phoenix loses out, like a lot of people are saying, could it be Denver or could it be the Clippers that take advantage the most?
I think it's the Clippers that take advantage the most.
I say Clippers.
Yeah, Denver. I forgot what that player name for Denver, but he got injured, right? He out for the season, right?
Jamal Murray.
Murray.
So I don't see Denver doing anything without him.
I actually disagree. Actually, I
Them
think
out-
Denver's got. I mean, Denver has a great bench. That's actually what's
mean-
been helping them this whole time. They got a really solid bench. Their rotation's nice.
But do you think they will take over games like he did?
That's
I think
different.
they can beat Portland in the first
Playoffs.
round. If you're
Who?
asking my opinion,
Who?
I think
Portland got?
I think Denver can beat Portland in the first round. I think Denver can do it.
Okay, so I'm glad that we talking about that, but I just want to real quick say that if people think that the Lakers are gonna just wash the Suns, I think that's ridiculous. I don't know who's been watching basketball if you think that, but that's crazy. I mean, Chris Paul has been a leader in the general all year long. His teammates have came out and legitimately said that this team has changed. The culture has changed since Chris Paul has come to this team. I mean,
He's a leader.
DeAndre Ayton is a better player. I mean, if we talking about a player who has elevated his game from year one to year two, DeAndre Ayton is that guy.
Yeah.
Booker is a bucket. We know Booker is a bucket. Can go off for 50 at any point.
Right.
Mhm.
This series between them and the Lakers will not be for the faint of heart. This very well could go to 7.
But
Very well can go to 7.
like I
You
just
watched
said,
last night. You legitimately watched last night them play. They played the Warriors, and they barely won against the Warriors. And the Warriors are playing with 3 or 4 G leaguers. 2 are starting, and 2 are on the bench. Wiggins went off last night. If any guard or any forward on the Suns go off like that, and Booker has a game, and CP3 is having a game, and DeAndre Ayton is playing well, this not gonna be a easy season.
And they also have some solid
well-
guys. They got Frank Kaminsky, Dario Saric, Jay Crowder. They do have some good guys in Phoenix.
People who can play, people with playoff experience too.
But like I said, Chris Paul and the X factor. If he get injured in the playoffs, like he been doing for the last Andre, 8 years, 10 years.
I get what you riding on, but I'm thinking I'm being more optimistic that this is going to be a series where it's a first round series too, where Chris Paul is going to be able to play. Usually when Chris Paul gets injured in series, it's been second round, third round, second and third round.
But
well, he really didn't get injured that much with the Clippers. Like I remember, because I'm a Clippers fan, he really didn't get injured that much. I think he had one series where he got injured, like in the 5 years he was there.
Yeah,
he got injured twice with the Clippers.
Wait, when was the second time? I remember the first one was like 2013. Remember that was the first one.
The second time I was 2014, I think.
Was it back to back? I don't.
Houston.
I know the second one he got injured was Houston in the Western Conference Finals.
Yeah,
I remember that pretty well.
Okay.
Yeah, that was Houston. My thing is though, I think again, when you have a complete bench and you got the guys that you got starting for Phoenix, I really just don't see this being after watching last night's game. And I'm going predicated off last night. Last night was a play-in game for the playoffs. So technically the playoffs started. Okay.
Last night.
They started. With the play-in, they started. If I have to go by how they just started, I don't think that they washing Phoenix. I do not.
But
I can't.
Remember when LeBron came back from injury? When did he come back?
He came back right before the season.
Well, he came back with 5 games left in the season. With like 5 games
you got to think about that too. If LeBron to stay healthy, he's gonna be somebody to be reckoned with. Him and AD. AD got to show up.
So let's talk too about these other playing games too, real quick. I mean, we had the Spurs and the Grizzlies, which obviously the Grizzlies won 196. So the Spurs are out. Spurs are out. The Grizzlies will be playing against the
The
Warriors
Warriors.
Hey,
coming
let's
up.
ask this. Let's ask this for everybody who's watching right now. If the Grizzlies somehow win, even though they are a 3.5-point underdog right now, if they win against the Warriors, would that be considered an upset? Having Memphis beat Golden State to be the number 8 seed.
Yep.
Yeah.
No,
Yes.
no.
Because experience, 9 times 10 experience, how they say experience make you do better when you got the experience on your side. Like Golden State, they got a lot of experience. If they come out here and choke against the Grizzlies, then something definitely wrong.
Well, okay. So let me start out by saying this. Why is everything a choke? I don't understand. That don't mean that just because a higher fought game is played, that don't mean somebody choked. That just means somebody was better. Like last night, you would consider last night somebody choking? Like,
No,
oh, okay. See, that's what I mean. That's why I'm going with that. Like everything doesn't have
What's up, Yuri?
the choke. The choke aura to it. It doesn't always have to be a choke. It could just be a well played, well fought out game. Yuri, what's up? I'll show that comment real quick. What's up, Yuri?
What's up, Yuri?
How's it going? So yeah, I don't think so. I really don't think so. I think with the roster that the Warriors have, I don't think this is an upset. I think it would be more of an upset if Klay Thompson was playing. If Klay was on the team, then I'd be like, okay, maybe this is a upset. I'd be like, yeah, maybe this is an upset for Memphis.
Maybe I'm in the
Ja
minority.
Morant.
Maybe I'm in the minority here, but I actually wouldn't mind having Memphis play in the first round. Like, I think Utah and Memphis would be a better series than a lot of people would give it credit for.
Yeah, it would be nice to see two different teams, but just because, see, here's the thing. I need Steph Curry to really be in the playoffs. I need him to be in the playoffs because I want to see if Golden State can knock off. I really want to see if they can knock off Utah.
but
And because Donovan Mitchell is back.
I'm gonna see, can he keep this up? They 37 points a game in the playoffs. That's what I'm gonna see.
I'll tell you what. The Curry's a bad man. You see, they went to triple teaming him last night late in the game. You saw
But-
that, Rocco. You saw the Lakers doing the
Well, they
triple.
had to do that because they know he'd take the final shot. Well, like,
No, they did
I
that
mean,
for the last like 3 minutes, though. The last
But-
3 minutes, triple team.
no, they did that for the last 5 minutes. Like, anytime he was on the outside perimeter, they would triple team him. So force him to go to Poole, force him to go to Bell, force him to go to Anderson. I think that was his name. So
Yeah.
Jay, you know, and I know, if he don't keep up that performance in this next series, the next game, the Warriors might be at home.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, I wouldn't sleep on Ja Morant now. I'll tell you
Right. So,
I mean, there's been posts that Ja Morant is top 5 point guard in the league.
and then the next play-in game tonight, Indiana and Washington. I mean, I'm
That's
gonna go
gonna
with Washington on that. I'm gonna go with Washington on that one, but
I'm
I don't
going
know
with
Indiana.
I'm
I'm
going
going-
to Indiana.
I'm going with
Indiana.
Washington.
After what I just seen Indiana do
Right.
with Charlotte Hornets, and I thought Charlotte was listen,
Hey Kobe, Chuck. Hey,
Chuck Kobe, what up? I was one to sit up here and say like Michael Jordan might have got it right now. You got LaMelo Ball, you got Miles Bridges balling out, you got Gordon Hayward. If he can stay healthy, pretty good team, right? And then I saw, what I saw from Indiana last night, and I'm like,
Mm.
oh, didn't know Indiana had 144 points in them, and they put up 144 points. I mean, they smoked
Smoke
the
them boots.
They
We need to
smoked.
talk about this from a perspective. If whoever is the 8th seed, are they going to at least get one game off the Sixers? Is it going to be a 5-game series, 4-game series? How's it going to play out?
So the 8th seed would be, obviously, if we talking Boston is automatically the 7th seed, by the way.
Right,
So
they're facing Brooklyn.
that would be either Indiana or Washington. No, I don't see neither one of them teams getting a game off of. Maybe Washington get a game off of Philly, just because you got to watch out Westbrook and Beal. Beal is a 30-point bucket. Any game. I mean, he barely lost the scoring title to Steph this year. And then you got the walking triple-double who is Russell Westbrook. Can he get a game? Russell is good for getting you a game or two. That's about it. But, I mean, that's going to be tough. That's going to be tough.
Hey, Yuri, it starts at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern.
Absolutely.
My thing is, why everybody keep on sleeping on Miami Heat?
Ooh, hold on, time out. You see this comment? We're sweeping Brooklyn? Who, Boston?
Hey, did we take a time machine back to 2012?
Yeah, he did. He did.
Is Kevin Garnett still there? Is Paul Pierce still there?
Yeah, he took.
He took the way back from Peabody and Sherman. Joking aside, though, my thing is why everybody keep on sleeping on Miami Heat.
I'm not.
Nobody should be sleeping on the Heat.
That all I've been hearing. Philly this, Philly that. But nobody not talking about Miami.
Well,
Philly, there he is. Comment right now.
They said, Dennis, speaking of Philly, he said, yo, fam, Boston will win 2. Yeah, I think Boston could get 2 games off of.
I'll agree with that. Yeah, they'll probably win a game or 2. Yeah.
Listen, I would have agreed with Boston more had Jaylen Brown been in the series. Then I would say it might be a dog fight early for Brooklyn. Early.
But he injured now, so
he done for the year. It's over. It's done. I see the Nets winning this in 5 games or 6 games at best. Speaking of which, obviously, we know now we got the 2 games coming on tonight. Make sure y'all watch too. Make sure y'all watch them games. I definitely will be tuned in with a little wine here or there, watching these games to see who's going to be the 8th seeds in these games. It's going to be very interesting. But
champagne, cheese, and crackers.
That's right. We also got a couple of series to talk about. On the East Coast, you got the Knicks and the Hawks coming up. Knicks
Y'all
and
are
Hawks.
gonna hate me.
Here we go, Rocco. So who we got? Knicks or Hawks?
I've got the Hawks winning in 7 games. Like, man, I think this Hawks team they can beat New York in the first round.
Okay, Ron, who you got?
I don't trust the number 1 team.
Ooh, I'm surprised, Ron. Welcome to Atlanta. Players play, huh?
No, I don't trust the Hawks. I don't trust them. And I've been honest with you. Did what the Hawks do. They get to the playoffs, then they shut down.
Unless it was 2015.
So I'm going to be very honest. This Atlanta Hawks team went from worrying about haircuts to actually getting in the playoffs.
Or what about wings? Hot wings.
Or them hot wings. Or them hot wings.
All right, Lou Williams, get back to work.
Lemon Pepper Lou know all about the wings in Atlanta. But I'll keep it real. Atlanta look good, but I'm going with the Knicks, man. I gotta go with New York, and yeah, I'm from New York, so it is what it is. It is what it is. I'm going with the New York Knicks. Their defense has been superb this year. Defensively, their coach has changed the culture, and Randall is a definitely he's a phenomenon, man. They got a lot of good players over there. that can play. The bench is nice. Derrick Rose could be 6th man of the year. You got J.R. Barrett, who's very, very confident. A lot of people didn't know what he was going to be coming out of Duke. J.R. Barrett's very confident. They got a
Is that the same as R.J. Smith?
No, R.J. Barrett is different from R.J. Smith.
Okay.
All right, so since Dre got his answer and Rocco, so I'm gonna agree with Rocco on that one. I got the Hawks.
Oh, here you go with the Hawks.
I don't trust
I'm not a
the
Knicks fan,
team.
okay? That's why I picked the Hawks. I'm not a Knicks fan. That's all.
I mean, hey,
that's why I picked
look.
the Hawks.
I mean, the Hawks are going to get eliminated in the second round by
No,
the
you hating on the
76ers
Knicks.
anyway.
What the Knicks do to you, Brock? What the Knicks do to you, Dalton?
I'm just not a big fan of them. I think they're overrated, in my opinion.
Overrated.
And Andre, to answer your question, I'm just looking at the money. I mean, New York started as a 2.5 point favorite. Now they're down to only a 1 point favorite. So obviously the money's going to Atlanta. So more people are betting on Atlanta to win the series. And you know what? I like the points. I like the offense. Defense is suspect, but offense can get the job done.
I like your Las Vegas sports angle. I like that little sports angle. Look at you throwing in there shameless plugs to your Las Vegas city.
Hey, sports angle, entertainment capital of the world, baby.
That's right. Dennis said, great job, Tibbs. Yeah, Tom Thibodeau definitely doing this thing over there defensively, especially with the Knicks. All right. I did not like the other night, though. The Knicks game that clinched their 4 seed. They almost let the other team come back. Anybody could tell me what team that was that they played the other night? Okay, well, guess what? Put it in the comment section if you know.
Are you talking about Boston?
Yes, I am talking about Boston.
Oh,
okay.
Oh, yes. It's not the Mavs.
Boston the other night, folks. It was Boston. Boston didn't play any starters the other night, and the Knicks almost let them come back.
I'll say for the record, Atlanta's the only team I'm picking as an underdog from the Eastern Conference. Like Brooklyn's the favorite, I'm picking them. Philly's the favorite, I'm picking them. And Milwaukee's the favorite, I'm picking them. Like Atlanta's my only underdog.
Milwaukee.
I will not pick Milwaukee.
Watch this. the knockoff in the Eastern round, the first round of the Eastern Conference is Milwaukee, Miami. Miami gonna knock them off. Watch what I tell you.
And
Miami is going to do to them what they did to them last year. They're gonna knock them off.
Anything is possible.
Yes, it is. Anything is possible. And I think that Jimmy Buckets and them over there in Miami is probably licking their chops again that they get to play. They get to play Milwaukee and knock them off again. I got a sneaking suspicion. Bam Adebayo is not a joke, by the way. For those who keep on Bam Adebayo, Bam Adebayo is another big man player who has definitely stepped his game up tremendously from year one to now. Bam.
Dre, I'm gonna ask you how you to beat Milwaukee.
You know how to beat Milwaukee. Boxing one. You boxing one, keep Giannis out the paint.
Okay, so Miami know that already.
They sure do.
You triple Giannis. Right.
We sure do. You make what's his name beat you? Middleton.
And he not ready for that smoke.
Right. DiVincenzo, Bledsoe, Teague.
I'm not worried about DiVincenzo.
I'm not worried about them.
I'm not worried about DiVincenzo. I'm not worried about who did you name? Eric Bledsoe. I'm not worried about him.
I'm not worried about him either.
What was his name? They got him from New Orleans. Oh, what was his name? Oh, Holiday.
I'm not worried about him either. I'm not worried about Jrue Holiday either. Here's why I'm not worried about them. First and foremost, if I'm Miami, I'm not worried because I know that I got guns on my team. And when I mean guns, y'all know Miami was guns a-blazing from 3 last year. They still are guns a-blazing this year. Listen, every time you score, I tried to tell people this last year until they played the Lakers, that every time you score quick, Miami is just like, okay, well, we'll just drill a 3 in your face. Here, drop this. You drop that, we'll drop this. And we got enough defense to get enough stops because you can't stop us from dropping this shit in your face. We got enough play. We got enough defense to stop you. Milwaukee felt it last year when they got their boot smoked last year. That you ain't got enough. I mean, DiVincenzo was playing last year. So was Bledsoe on that team last year. Drew
Right.
Holiday was added for defense, but I'm gonna be honest with you, he can't check buckets, Jimmy buckets. So that's a non-factor to the situation. That's gonna be a non-factor.
Bledsoe went missing last year in the playoffs. Was he there?
Who?
Bledsoe.
Oh, Bledsoe was a non-factor, total non-factor.
Because I know his body there, but mentally he was gone.
Yeah, totally not there. And again,
he was not there mentally. So
he had that same problem in LA. He had that same problem there too.
Well, my thing is they keep getting knocked off the playoffs because they need a real second option. They don't have a real second option. Middleton will get you 17, 20. And if they take away Giannis, if Giannis can be stopped to 20, Middleton has to score 30 for this team to actually win games. Because you cannot bank on DiVincenzo. You cannot bank on those other players that you name. And Miami knows.
Dre, so in the offseason, who will you go after?
Do they have the resources to get it done?
I think that they trade people.
All right, let me restate the question then. Do they have the capital to actually get it done?
Well, we can look that up if you want. We can look up their capital, but I just really don't. I don't think they're built. They're built for the finals. I just don't think Milwaukee's built for the finals.
Well, I just think Milwaukee they need to trade. They need another, not no superstar, but they need somebody to take over games.
Yes, Ron, I agree. But the problem with Milwaukee, and people are going to argue that this is not true, but it is. Milwaukee is a smaller market.
Yes,
in baseball and basketball, heck, even in other sports.
Agreed.
The state of Wisconsin is considered a smaller market.
Right.
So when it comes to Milwaukee Bucks, it's hard for them to get a second star because if you're someone that is a top 15, top 20 player in the league, why would you play for a smaller market where you can go to one of the top 10 markets in the United States and make your money there? So they're at a handicap already. And also the draft capital and all that situation, depending on what they have, they might not even be able to make trades or might be able to get players because of that handicap. So they're at a disadvantage.
I'm with you. They are a very disadvantage. But they need to try and get him some help, though, before his career over.
So let's talk about these Western Conference matchups real quick. So Portland and Dallas, we need to talk about this one. This one
Can you make it bigger, Dre?
Huh?
Can you make it bigger?
The only thing I hate about using StreamYard is trying to make things bigger. It doesn't work. The only thing. But I'm reading it off right here. You just see, matter of fact, I'll stop the share. All right. So you have Portland and Dallas right now coming up. That's probably one of the most exciting matchups I'm ready to see. Because I'm ready to see Portland smoke Dallas's boot. I mean, smoke Denver's boot. They're going to smoke their boot. I don't know why people think that Denver is going to win this. Why? Because
I have an announcement to make.
Go ahead.
I just looked up the draft pick situation for Milwaukee. They don't have a first-round pick this year. They don't have a first-round pick in 2023. They don't have a first-round pick in 2024. And they don't have a 2025 first-round pick.
Nope, they sure don't.
So, no, you're not getting anybody. You're not.
Okay, I will say this. Why don't you go get J.R. Smith?
What now?
I'm going to.
Before y'all say anything, J.R. can give you 20 points.
Do you have to drink 8 shots of Hennessy beforehand, or?
Lord,
I should go get a bottle right now.
No, I'm for real.
Look,
I'm for real. if you just get J.R. Smith, he would do better than Millicent.
Who, Middleton?
Yeah, he would do way better than him in the playoffs. In the playoffs,
I don't know.
Okay,
Middleton
so
has
Ron,
averaging about 20. I don't
hold
know.
on, watch this. Ron, J.R. Smith will do better than Middleton in the playoffs? Is this
yes.
the same J.R. Smith that in the
Don't
finals
go,
had
don't,
two? You want to go there? Is
don't,
this the
don't
same
go
J.R.
there.
Smith that had two Krispy Kreme donuts with no glaze? No glaze, no sprinkles?
But what I'm saying, he will help.
Is this the same one?
When the last time your boy showed up in the playoffs? Like, he did not show up last year.
Well,
Well,
oh no. Oh, you said what? No. Middleton actually scored 17 to 20 points last year in the playoffs.
mm-hmm.
Oh, you sure? We can pull some stats now.
I
We
got
can
it.
pull some stats.
I mean, I got it.
But I will tell you who had average games twice in that series, and that was Giannis.
Hey, by the way, in 2020 against that Miami series, he was averaging 25, 6, and 6.
Thank you. I thought it was at least 20 or something. Yeah, I was about to say. I know
Which,
he
by the
was
way, was a huge improvement from 2019. Only 13, 6, and 4. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Middleton can be a bucket.
So you think this the year that beat the Miami Heat?
Nah.
I say 7 games. I think Milwaukee, Miami will be a good series, but I'll
I
go
do.
7.
I think Milwaukee Miami is probably one of the best series in the Eastern Conference. And then this Portland Denver. Yeah, Rocco, don't get silent because you was the one talking Denver. I want to hear this Denver.
Me
Yeah,
too. I want to hear this.
Yeah, this Denver.
Hey, look, when it comes to Denver,
all year.
now, first off, when it comes to Denver, I'll put the sportsbook side of it into it. Right now, they are only a 1-point favorite between the two.
Looks like the money's Portland.
Yeah, only a 1-point favorite when it comes to Denver and Portland. A real tight series. But when it comes to the finals, when it comes to that gap, there actually is a huge gap there. I mean, Denver's a 30-1 odds-on favorite, and Portland is a 50-1 odds-on favorite to win the NBA Finals. But that's not going to be all. So when you look at the depth chart of the Denver Nuggets, when you look at the depth chart of everything that they have in Denver, I trust their bench. Like, their bench is really good with the Denver Nuggets organization. They have players at every single spot in that rotation. For example, I'll give it to you. I mean, you have guys like Monty Morris at point guard, right? But you also have that Campazzo. He's the new guy. What's his name? Campazzo.
Go ahead.
So you have 2 guys at point guard who can get the job done. At shooting guard, yeah, you have Will Barton, who, by the way, to me is very underrated. I mean, he's not a superstar, he's not a star, but he does get the job done at the 2. Austin Rivers, he can get you shots from the outside. And when it comes to small forward, you have a future star in Michael Porter Jr. I mean, Michael Porter Jr. dropping near 20 points a game. He's getting the job done there. Power forward, you're 3 deep. You got Aaron Gordon, you got Paul Millsap, who can still be productive in select situations. And JaMychal Green, ever since he came over from Memphis, he's been doing a real good job coming off the bench. So when it comes to Nikola Jokic, Aaron Gordon, Michael Porter Jr., Will Barton, Monty Morris, that's a real solid starting lineup. But then you have your bench, and you have Campazzo, you have Rivers, Millsap, Green. They do have a good 10-man rotation out there in Denver.
All right. So now, here's my rebuttal. Can you tell me who Portland's last win was against?
I believe you're going to tell me.
I mean, I will tell you.
Yeah, I believe you're going to tell me too.
It was against the team that you digging up right now. They smoked their boots. 132-116. Smoked them boots. Buddy.
Okay.
Hold on. You want rosters? You want rosters? Okay, so let's talk rosters then. because I'm glad that
Okay.
you mentioned that. So let's talk about Ednis Cantor, who's been in the playoffs. How many times? How many years?
Wait, is he the
A
starting center or is
lot
it
of playoff.
Covington? Wait, is it Covington or is it Cantor?
Covington is power forward.
He can play
Covington is
center, by the
power
way.
forward.
Right, but he can't.
Yusuf Nurkic is the starting. Hold on. Yusuf Nurkic is the starting center.
Okay. All right.
Okay. So we talk about this team that has Ennis Cantor, Robert Covington, Carmelo Anthony, who's been showing up lately, Damian Lillard, Dame Time, Dame Time, who people regard as one of the best point guards right now in the league, or the best point guard in the league. DJ McCollum, Yusuf Nurkic, Norman Powell. They got Derek Jones Jr., Anthony Simons. Simons, the guy who that was in the dunk contest. Anthony Simons. Nassar Little. Let's see. Rondo Hollis Jefferson, Zach Collins. You sure? Are you positively sure that your Denver Nuggets is going to beat the Portland Trailblazers? And
I'm positive. I'm positive.
And we all know Dame Time to take over assists. We all know that.
Whoa.
We all know he did go off for their 50 points like that.
I've
So
never
I
said
am
that
looking at
Damian
this
Lillard
roster.
isn't a great player. He's great at what he does.
No.
He's great.
So I'm looking at Denver's roster. You said Austin Rivers. They got Nikola Jokic, Michael Porter, Aaron Gordon, Campazzo. They got Marcus Howard. They got Paul Millsap, JaVale McGee, and Boy.
Oh, the mean Bobo.
Yeah, Bobo. I call him Bobo.
Bobo.
It's Bobo.
Look, to me, when it comes to Denver and Portland, they're going to be running the same 10-man rotation. Portland and Denver is going to be doing the same 10-man rotation in the playoffs.
Bro, I don't know, man. I'm
that put Bobo in there.
I'm be honest with you. Watch this. Rocco not gonna like this. But Rocco, you want a wager? I mean, this is sport. I mean, let's go. Sports capital of the world. You know all about it.
What do you got in mind?
I mean, no, it don't got to be money. It could be profile. It could be anything.
He said, what you got in mind?
I mean, I was like, what do you got in
I
mind?
know what I heard what he said, but I'm saying it don't got to be money. It could be.
No, I don't have to be money. Of course not.
It don't got to. It don't got to be money. It could be whatever you want it to be. I'm going to say right now on the show. Portland is going. Hold on. Before we do that, I got to make sure the stipulation. Portland is going to beat Denver in 6 games. You ready for this? 6, sir. It's not going 7. It's going to be 6. And I'm going to watch Dame Time in Portland again do this. This. And bye-bye. And bye-bye. As he waves y'all off again.
All right. So then let me do the wager then. So you say Portland's going to beat Denver in 6. I'll say Denver's going to beat Portland in 6. But here's what the wager will be.
Okay.
If Denver beats Portland, you got to come on air and say the Chicago Bears are better than the Green Bay Packers.
Ooh, really? We getting real personal right here. All right.
This is Rise Up.
That's fine. That's fine. And let me see. Oh, I got a counter to that. If you lose, you got to come on here and say that the Chicago Bears logo looks like a toilet seat and they suck.
Well, I mean, you kind of stated the obvious already, but yeah, sure.
Oh, no. Oh, never mind. If that's the obvious, then I gotta make the bet. I gotta make the bet even better because that's obvious. Yo, Buck Flair's at Allen too. He is laughing his tail off. He laughed at the Green Bay Packers comment.
I'm gonna say this: you got the Carmelo Anthony playing some good ball.
Wait, is this Olympic Carmelo though?
This the Carmelo
You don't
that
want
got the braid.
Carmelo to play.
I was
in
gonna
this.
say, like, man, if this was Olympic Carmelo, I would agree that Portland would win easily, but it's not.
Oh, he
Olympic
can't
Carmelo.
go there though. We seen he been getting hot.
Hey, Buck Flair, I don't got the money to buy a robe that expensive, so no, I can't do that.
Ian wear a dress. Oh, that's Ric Flair.
Yeah, hey, I'll do that. Hey, Buck Flair, I'll do that. The thing that he just
Stop
said.
it. Stop it.
No, what he just said immediately afterwards. The woo thing.
Oh,
I'll do that.
I was like,
I'll do that.
yo, he had this all thing like, what?
No,
Yeah.
trust me, I don't have the money to buy myself a robe like Ric Flair. I'm not broke, but I'm not rich either. Like I'm not there.
All right, I got to think of a real good one for Rocco Kelly.
Okay.
I got to think of one.
I mean, Ron, we talked about this before.
Rocco, you play Xbox?
I've got a PlayStation 4.
Oh, okay, you got PS4.
What if I just got it? What if whoever wins, y'all got to buy each other a video game of their choice?
That's Steve. I don't even play video games, but that's Steve.
Or their choice.
That's like a $60 bet right there. You know what? I'm actually for it. I will buy a PlayStation 4 game. And if you lose, you gotta buy my son an Xbox game.
All right, I'll do that.
All right, there we go. Good job, Ron.
All right, man, cool. GG.
In 6. I'm telling you right
Flair,
now.
just come in Vegas doesn't mean I got the money to buy a Ric Flair. Like,
Dre,
dude, come on now, stop it.
write down this bet.
Oh no, it's in the comments. Hold on, I'm about to put it in the comments right now.
Hey, Ron, you don't gotta write it down. It's on the record. Like,
Yeah,
it's live
right.
on air, fam. It's on the record.
I mean, it's on YouTube and it's on. Look, so it's on the right. We good.
So whoever wins, you got to ask.
But it has to be in 6, right? That was the rule.
Yeah,
It
they
has
got
to be in 6.
Okay. Or wherever.
So
Y'all just
let's
say
say
it.
that they win in 7, then it's a wash, right?
Yeah, watch.
Watch it.
Okay. All right, cool.
Oh,
But you got to buy whoever wins.
somebody.
The loser got to buy the winner a video game of
I'm
their
just gonna
choice.
say somebody about to be tight because I don't see how Denver is keeping up with that. I don't see how they're keeping up with them. I don't. I just really don't. Without Jamal Murray, if this was a Jamal Murray sighting and he was playing, my tune might be a little different. It probably would be way different. But without Jamal Murray in playoff play, you got to rely on Aaron Gordon, who never been there, and you got to rely on Michael Porter Jr. to get something going when Jokic can't, because that's gonna be a battle, by the way.
Yeah.
Jokic is gonna be a battle. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because Jokic don't play defense, and Nurkic
Say that
don't.
5 times fast. Jokic and Jokic.
Right, that's high. Oh my goodness, he already messed up.
Hey,
Jokic
Andre, send Ron some Burger King from Grubhub if the Hawks beat the Knicks.
Yo, actually, you know what, Ron? Yeah, you wanted to smoke earlier. You wanted to smoke earlier too. You was like, yeah, I'm gonna get you, Andre, for that other night. So let's make it.
Talk your ish.
Oh no, you would have waited.
You got to come on, talk your ish.
Oh my goodness, Ron, you don't want the smoke? I understand, because we want the smoke. Ron, I got a cash app. You got cash app? You got cash app?
No.
If you got cash app, I'll send you cash app. No problem. I'll send you the cash app. And you can get Burger King on your own. Because I know you got a Burger King probably about 5 feet away from your
Okay, Trey.
I can send you some Monopoly money via Venmo.
X-rays make me hungry now.
Yeah, we all hungry now. I'm definitely hungry too. Nah, but
Bucks
for real.
versus Heat is what I'm looking forward to. Hey, I'm the same here. Same here,
Ah,
Buckler.
So Ron, what you trying to say? You want to your Hawks against New York? I mean, this is a New York Atlanta thing. Come on, bro. You don't want to.
ATL and NYC.
me, I'm not no better, man. The Hawks, no, the New York Knicks want to win.
Oh,
You
come
know why?
on,
You know why? I just said it.
Ow.
Experience.
Hey, Buck
Go a
Flair.
long way.
Buck Flair is cracking me up. Mention burgers and Dalton pops up.
But I just said it. Experience. The New York Knicks, Randall got experience of being in the playoffs. He played with Kobe.
Wait, back that up. Wait, who?
Randall played with
Wait.
Kobe Bryant. You don't
The
remember?
Lakers weren't in the playoffs the last 2 years of Kobe's tenure.
But he was in the playoffs with
I think
Kobe.
Julius Randle actually has played in the playoffs with Kobe.
What?
I'm
Actually.
gonna fact check that because I don't think that sounds right.
What? No. Okay. So look up. Was he on a playoff team when Dwight Howard was with the Lakers?
I think he was.
Julius Randle was drafted in 2014.
Correct.
So,
Go ahead.
no, 2014 they finished with only 21 wins.
Oh, yeah, we know
2015,
that.
17 wins. Then 2016, 26 wins. So no,
Oh,
he
so
wasn't.
No.
Oh, okay.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah.
Nope. All right. Well, regardless, that's the series that I'm looking at, and then there's one
And
more.
go
series.
Mavericks.
Oh yeah, we need to talk about these Dallas Mavericks.
Go Clippers.
The Clippers. You ready to get the wing clipper early, Dalton?
Yes, sir. I'm ready.
Are you ready? That means your team going out first round then, right?
Oh, my bad. My team's going to beat the Clippers. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, my bad.
Man,
Yeah,
Clippers are a 5-point favorite.
I thought you
Dallas
meant
ain't
like
winning. Stop it.
you ready to see Clippers get winged out. That's what I thought you were trying to say. That's why I said yes.
I said you ready for them to get the wing clipper. Angel Garza, the wing clipper.
Oh,
You
no.
ready for
I'm
them to
ready
get
the
the wing
Mavericks to
clipper?
beat the Clippers. That's what I'm trying to refer to it.
All right, Dalton. So what do you think? What do you think that the Mavericks have to do in order for them to win?
Hey, I'm not watching NBA stuff, so I just gotta say they just need to focus on the game and stop the Clippers. That's all I gotta say.
All right, I like that, Ron.
They got the what your boy name? They been crying over the whole season about Doc Rivers. No, about Doc Rivers. What's his name? What's his name?
I'm sure you'll tell us, Ron.
Are you talking about? You're not talking about Tyronn Luke. I know he's the head coach.
No. Andre, not that person. This player.
It's not. You're not talking about Kawhi.
No.
I know you're talking about Luka. I said Luka.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what. If you take him out of the game, I get Dallas the win.
I don't know.
Okay,
Because
so can we look up Dallas's roster real quick? Can we look the Dallas roster up to see?
I have it right here.
Let's look at the rosters, shall we?
Yeah,
I have it right here.
And I'll look up the Clippers roster.
I was gonna say I already know it. I already know it from the top of my head, but you can do that.
Of course you do. Go ahead, Rocco. Let us know.
All right, the Dallas Mavericks roster. You got Luka Doncic at the 1. You've got Josh Richardson at the 2. You've got Tim Hardaway Jr. at the small forward. Got Maxi Kleber at the 4, and then you got Porzingis at the 5.
Not a bad roster. Starting roster.
And then your 6th man is Jalen Brunson. I mean, Trey Burke,
the
JJ
Clippers
Redick.
have Oh yeah, go.
Who?
You heard them names before. JJ Redick, Luke
Yeah,
Burke,
he's a good
Trey
bench
Burke.
player.
Remember?
Yeah, good
What?
bench player.
Okay, so this is who the Clippers got: Zubac, Reggie Jackson, Batum, Mann, Kennard, Paul George, obviously, Marcus Morris, Kawhi Leonard, Serge Ibaka, Patrick Patterson, Patrick Beverly, Rondo, Cousins. What? Dude, they are not. I already knew about all of them. They're not winning this series. I'm sorry. If they win the series, then the Clippers might as well just fold it up and not be a basketball team no more. Like,
I was
seriously.
actually gonna say, like, if they lose, then it kind of follows up with the unwritten rule in the NBA. Like in the NBA rule book, there's an unwritten rule, Andre, and it's in section 1.5.3, rule 1B. The Los Angeles Clippers cannot make it past the second round under any circumstances.
Well, they better this year. I'll tell you that, because they got the roster to do it.
Mm-hmm.
That roster is nice.
It looked good on paper.
Okay. It also looked good on the court this year too.
Well, they're starting five with Zubac, Morris, George, Leonard, and Beverly. It's a real good starting five. It really is.
I just don't understand why people thought that they was running. Okay, Rajon Rondo's on this team. Patrick Beverly was on this team. That is two defensive players, and they're really good at point guard. They can be a force on at the point guard position. Then you got DeMarcus Cousins off the bench, Serge Ibaka off the bench, Zubac is playing. Luke Kennard off the bench, Terrence Mann off the bench, Reggie Jackson off the bench. Reggie Jackson I think is starting, but
no, Reggie Jackson's.
We're talking about.
He's been a 6-man all year.
Is it? Okay, who's starting? Who's the?
Patrick Beverly is the starting point guard. Jackson's the 6-man.
Okay, who's the starting shooting guard though?
Shooting guard, from what I remember. Okay, I got it. Remember. Shooting guard is George. Small forward is Kawhi. Power forward is Marcus Morris, and center is Zubac.
Oh, so they moved Paul George from 3 to. Which they can do because Kawhi is actually a small forward too.
Yeah.
So they can move Paul George to the 2. That's smart.
Yeah.
So
I will say, guys like Nicholas Batum, Rajon Rondo, they don't have to use an 8-man rotation, but they did.
11-man rotation.
Right. But if they did use an 8-man rotation like they did last year, it probably would be Jackson, Batum, and Rondo, if I had to assume.
But once again, you don't know what Paul George will show up in the playoffs. That's the problem over his career since he been with the Clippers and Oklahoma. He don't show up in the playoffs.
I get that.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know why people thought that the Clippers was running from the Lakers. I think, honestly, that the Clippers is bigger than the Lakers. They're bigger than the Lakers. They have a better bench.
Heck, even the matchups with the Dallas and Los Angeles, when you see the battles head-to-head, it actually will be interesting. Luka going up against Patrick Beverly. You've got.
It will be very interesting to see.
You've got Tim Hardaway going up against Paul George. You've got Finney Smith. He's their small forward, going up against Kawhi. You've got Dwight Powell going up against Morris, and then you've got Porzingis going up against Zubac. So.
But I don't believe that.
Why don't you believe that?
that the Clippers folded to avoid the Lakers. I don't believe that.
Yeah, Buck Flair, from watching this team, I don't think they folded intentionally. Actually, what I think happened was they just, had a really rough patch. Also, by the way, they rested a lot of their
Thank
guys.
you. Neither
like the
Kawhi
last-
nor Paul George played in those last 2 games.
Well, really, the last 5 games they put them on kind of minute restriction. Like even for the
Yeah,
last
they
5
didn't
games.
even play. They talking about the Clippers lost to the Rockets in OKC. Yeah, that's because they didn't even play. None of them even played. They rested. And I want to say there was a couple other players that didn't even play in those games either. I will look that up. Who was?
Well, no, I have it right here. I mean, I watched the game. Batum didn't play. Morris didn't play. Rondo didn't play.
Right on it. Right on it, my guy.
Because I watched it.
Right on it. Love it. Yep, you watched it. Rested to the 4th seed. Okay, they rested to the 4th seed. The
But
Lakers
it's not like they intentionally avoided them. The Lakers were the 7th seed. Like
the Lakers rested. The Lakers rested to the 7th seed. Matter of fact, the Lakers rested to a play-in. Let's be clear. We want to be honest. The Lakers rested to a play-in. Let's not.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's not give LeBron James and them a pass neither. Now, all that load management that's going on in the league, let's not do that. He said let Denver get the 3 seed. I'm gonna say this again. I'm gonna say this one more time. Denver is not better than the Clippers, let alone better than Portland. You about to find out. Y'all about to find out this series right now. How good Denver really is. And then I want to hear all this Nikola Jokic talk.
Well,
Again,
he's going to get MVP, right? Like, he's the odds-on favorite. Like, he is the odds-on favorite to win MVP.
I do not, I will say this again, I do not like that pick for MVP at all.
Why?
I don't.
Why?
Okay, there's a couple reasons why I don't like it. For number one, I honestly think there's players who have led teams further, and we're talking about most valuable player, not most valuable team. The Nuggets went to the freaking Western Conference Finals last year.
Mm-hmm.
Let's be very clear. That team last year went to the Western Conference Finals. The Warriors, and this is what I keep trying to tell people, the Warriors were the worst team in basketball last year. Curry legitimately just damn near knocked off the Lakers in a play-in with G Leaguers and Draymond Green, who has this year averaged 6 points a game. Wiggins has averaged 17. That's no better than what Scottie Pippen averaged for his career. Let's stop the madness here. Then there's Dame Lillard, who to me has played out of his mind all year. When CJ McCollum was out and down, Dame Lillard balled out. Who else? Yes, I said this already. If Murray was healthy, the Nuggets would probably beat.
Yes.
I said
there's only 7 guys. There's only 7 players on the odd sheet for NBA.
I know there's
MVP.
only 7 players. Then there's and I'm not gonna say Embiid because Embiid didn't play enough.
Well, he's on the sheet, but okay. So the odds-on favorite at plus 1,000 is Nikola Jokic.
Yeah, because look at the stat right here. MVP 13-5 when Murray went out and broke Wilt Chamberlain's record. Led his entire teams in every category.
Okay, that kind of all right.
Okay,
second,
you would think that he would. I don't know. You would think that he would because again, big men have more opportunity. Stop with this nonsense. I keep trying to tell you that. Me and Sharon keep trying to tell folks that big men have more opportunity. Who get the most rebounds in a basketball game?
Russell Westbrook.
We talked about that already. That is not how it's supposed doubles.
No, Dre,
Nah.
Dre, you just messed up
Nah.
because he gets double doubles every night. Yes or no?
Double is different from triple double, sir. And the stat that stands out the most is the rebounds, sir. That's
All right. Well, here's Andre, to answer your question. Here it is. Joel Embiid plus 3,000. He's second place. Steph Curry is third at plus 3,000. Giannis is fourth. Giannis is fourth at plus 6,000. And then the long shots are Luka, Damian, and Chris Paul at plus 10,000. Like, they're complete long shots.
Okay, so, and I'm gonna say this again, and I know that most of that is a popularity contest and all that, but Nikola Jokic, I'm saying this now. I have nothing against your game, but Luka Doncic put up damn good numbers this year. Luka Doncic averaged what, 28, 9 and 9 this year on a Dallas Mavericks team that last year was what? Anybody can tell me? Okay. Dude, the Nuggets were already good. This is what I'm saying. Chris Paul led a team.
Wait, the Dallas.
I don't know what just happened to Rocco. Yeah.
It's more like the Bears fan got kicked him out. That's the reason why.
My thing in a nutshell is, we talking about most valuable player. Curry has to beat the Jazz to win it. I believe if they beat. Yo, I'm telling you right now, depending on which Donovan Mitchell you get from the Jazz, it very well can happen. That Warriors Jazz thing can very well happen. Don't sleep. Do not sleep.
And I'm back now.
Yeah, I don't know what happened, but
apparently my computer just Control Alt Delete for 15 seconds.
Like
but
I said,
what I was gonna say,
Bears team.
What I was gonna say was, when it comes to Dallas, they actually finished with one less game won this year than they did last year.
One less game won, right?
They had 43 wins last year, 42 wins this year.
And were they in the playoffs last year?
They were.
Okay. Yep. And what happened in the playoffs last year?
They lost to a certain Clippers team.
Oh, okay. You remember that? You remember? Okay. Well, let me just put this out there too. Was Porzingis playing this year?
He's played limited amount of games, but yeah, he's played.
He's played limited amount of games. Joel Embiid has played limited amount of games. Luka Doncic has carried that team, has still carried that team without Porzingis. Let's be clear. Again, Jokic played without Murray 13 and 5. Okay, I get that. And I left it up there for a reason. Porzingis is gone after this year. He probably could be gone because he's injury prone. I wouldn't be surprised.
Will he go back to the Knicks?
But what I will tell you is that there's players who have led teams that if they weren't on the team or wasn't around, would not be in the playoffs. Phoenix has not been in the playoffs in 10 years. And Chris Paul has them at the number 2 seed. And I mean the number 2 seed by a mile.
Yeah, I'm not denying that Luka and Chris Paul have been doing great numbers.
And I have to go by influence. If we're talking best player, I'm going all around influence. Influence, what you do for the team, leadership, the whole 9 yards, which should be included when you want to nominate somebody as the most valuable player to their team.
But Andre, you know that it's a popularity contest.
That's why
that it's about the newest star, the new flash in the pan.
Nikola Jokic probably will win, but I'm saying that that's not a great pick.
Has anybody noticed that the last 5 years, it's pretty much been the new people in the NBA? Giannis, Harden.
Because they're promoting the new school. Yeah, because they're promoting new school. I get it, but I don't like the pick.
When's the last time Kevin Durant and LeBron James won an MVP? It's been a while.
Sabonis is nice and has led his team. And I think Victor Oladipo left that team.
He got injured.
Sabonis has led that team. I'm just saying you gotta be mindful. We get caught. I think sometimes get caught in the stats and stuff, but forget the teams that they playing on. Like Denver already was a good team last year. They went to the Western Conference Finals. This year, I wouldn't expect Jokic's numbers not to be good because he already plays on a very good team. We're talking about players who have G leaguers who are in the playoffs or playing in the playoffs at 33. Curry is 33, by the way. I just want to put that up. 33 years of age and average. I put that stat up already once before. He is only the second player in NBA history to average 31 at 33. And his team is damn near an A seed, which King Czar tried to tell me, oh, he wasn't even an MVP candidate. I'm like, what? You're out your mind if you don't think that. Chris Paul. The same thing. Chris Paul is probably older than fucking Curry, and
But see, there's one thing that a lot of people are forgetting. The NBA. Do you know how many people vote on the NBA MVP?
We know.
118 people vote for the NBA MVP.
We know, and it should be 118 million people voting on MVP, not 118 people.
Dre, I want to ask you, is Steph Curry a superstar?
Yes.
Okay, so he should do that.
Mega
star. He should, wait a minute.
What?
He should take his team to the playoffs every year, right?
Okay, watch this now. This is where I'm about to formulate.
All right, King Czar, make your argument again.
Yeah, here we go. He should take his team to the playoff. Ron, I would say that if this was college basketball, maybe.
I
would say that if this was college basketball, 6'4" guards can dominate in college basketball like that on a regular league basis. But the NBA, Steph Curry is 6'4" and 100 and probably 60, 70 pounds soaking wet. Okay. Time out. At 33, he is legitimately a problem. Have you not watched? And we just watched last night. The Lakers
6'3",
But he what?
He's 6'3", 189.
Okay.
According to NBA.com.
Soaking wet, bro. Like what?
Wait a minute. Every superstar, they do what? They take their team to the playoffs. Yes or no?
Are we talking about the same? Yes, Curry is 6'3". I know that. Listen, there's a difference between being 6'8" and 260 and 6'3", 189. The same way Michael Jordan was 6'6" and 190. There's a major difference in basketball. And if you play and coach it, you know it. I'm not trying to say you don't, but I'm saying there's a major difference. Basketball is a physical sport on top of the fact. Let's be clear.
I know.
Even in this tick for tack league, it's still a physical sport. So Stephen Curry, who is a combo guard, because he's a combo. You expect him with G leaguers. Hold on, with G leaguers and a supposed what y'all called at one point, which a bunch of people tried to tell me Draymond Green was a superstar, and that's why the Warriors was a super team, which is a bunch of BS. Averages 6 points.
But excuse my French, I ain't never said the gorilla was a superstar.
Nah, that's crazy. I'm not understanding. LeBron can get away with that for being the most physical specimen because he bulldozes his way to the basket. And yes, Draymond Green plays his ass off every game, but Draymond Green is not a scorer. There's a difference. You can play your ass off every game and not be a scorer. That's my point. He's not a scorer. To win basketball games, you have to be able to score. It's the whole point of playing basketball.
And what do Steph Curry do?
8 and 7. He's a triple single. But cleared. Stop putting Draymond stats up here. Matter of fact, Bro, I'm putting this up here. If you think that this number is so beneficial,
I mean, look, Draymond Green is 7-7-9. Man,
yeah, 7, 7, and 9. Why he put up 8, 8, and 7? Okay,
yeah,
regardless,
he probably rounded up. That's probably what
he probably did. He averages a triple single, bro. Cut it out. He's
do I
not
also need to remind people what the starting lineup is for the Warriors?
Yo,
I mean,
please, Rocco,
what?
give it to him
No,
one time.
wait a
Give it to
minute.
him one time so
Wait
they
a
know.
minute, Rocco. What
Give it
I'm
to
trying
him.
to say is Steph Curry last night pulled up from what 30 and shot a 3. Yes or no? Last night.
Steph Curry is the best at pulling up from 30.
Okay. Okay, but what I'm saying, ain't he a superstar?
He's a megastar.
Okay,
Steph Curry is the
major
greatest
super.
shooter in the modern era.
Okay, major super. All I just saying is he should be able to take his team to the playoffs every year. Yes or no?
Ron.
No, sir,
Look,
stop that.
here's the thing about Steph Curry,
What?
and a lot.
Ooh, wait a
Hold
minute.
on.
Wait a minute. You know how? Hold on. Hold on. Before you say that, you know how hypocritical that sounds? Ron, John Wall and Bradley Beal was on the same team and couldn't bring their team to a playoff in the weak Eastern Conference. Go ahead and tell me again about how Steph Curry is supposed to bring his team. He's smaller than both of them. Go ahead. Hit me again. I want to hear it. I'd love to hear this. Go ahead. The Wizards, bruh, with John Wall and Bradley Beal couldn't
Wait a
make
minute.
the playoffs.
We not talking about the baby Wizards.
Oh, come on, man. You
We talking about. Wait a minute.
Look, Andre.
Give him this. Please give him the roster.
Look, here is their starting lineup. At point guard, Curry. Shooting guard, Wiggins. Small
Curry.
forward, Bazemore.
Curry.
Power forward, Green. Center, Looney.
Curry.
I mean, I pretty much could just say this, Andre. Here's the starting lineup for the Golden State Warriors. At the 1, Curry. At the 2, Curry. At the 3, Curry. At the 4, Curry. At the 5, Curry. 6-man, Curry.
My God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Buck Flair. This is the absolute most stretched. When you talk about exacerbation, that comment is exacerbated to the umpteenth power. Ron is correct because Harden took his team to the playoffs every year. Sir, would you like to know what Harden's roster was every year? Sir, you sure you want to do that? You sure you want to do that? You sure?
Should we also mention that if he hadn't forced a trade to Houston, he would have missed the playoffs this year?
Woo, woo, woo.
Like, if he was forced to have played in Houston, the Rockets wouldn't have made the playoffs this year.
Wildin'. But you wilding right now.
And yes, Harden made the playoffs every year because the first 4 years he was in Oklahoma City. And then the first year he got to Houston, he had Dwight Howard, he had all those guys.
And Chris Paul played with him too, by the way.
And Russell Westbrook.
And Russell Westbrook played with him too. So I'm not understanding. Please make that make sense, what you just said. Harden never took his team to the playoffs by itself. Never. Never, sir. Never. Don't even do it. Don't even do it.
Let's get to the next game.
Wow.
The next series.
Whoa.
Andre.
Yeah, Curry has legitimately took a bunch of G Leaguers. You see what Houston's record was this year, sir. That should tell you everything you need to know. Without Harden and Westbrook on it, without who did they have? The Hawks center. Who's the Hawks center?
Clint Capella.
Yes, Clint Capella. Oh, Patrick Patterson left too, and went to the Clippers.
Montrezl Harrell.
That whole team left Houston. Go ahead, tell me again how Harden led his team to what? Exactly by itself. Don't do that.
And by the way, somebody's gonna make the argument that if Harden wouldn't have left, the Rockets would have been a good team. Well, let me just fact check that real quick. Because when James Harden left, by the way, at the end of January, they had a record of
Steph Curry didn't play last
4-9.
year.
4-9.
Oh yeah, they had a record of 4-9. And Harden knew that he wasn't winning with that team. That's why he demanded that trade. But Steph Curry didn't play last year, sir. And the Warriors' record last year was the worst in the NBA without Stephen Curry. Nice try though. Go ahead and tell me again. The Warriors legitimately are almost at damn near 8 seed with a bunch of G leaguers, a lottery pick in James Wiseman, and they're damn near 8 seed at 33, dropping 31. But go ahead and keep trying to. I don't know what you're trying to say. I don't know if you're trying to discredit Curry or what you're doing, but that's bogus. Go ahead. Tell me again. Sabogus. I should call it Sabogus. Sabogus. Go ahead, Sabogus.
All right. And by the way, yes, they won 15 games last year. But guess what? Curry only played 5 games.
Oh, wait a minute.
5.
Wait a minute. So Rockets didn't have Harden this year. Same thing. No, it's not the same thing.
No.
It is not the same thing. It is nowhere near the same thing. But the Rockets lost Harden, Chris Paul, because Chris Paul came off the team too and went to Phoenix. They lost Patrick Patterson, Patrick Beverly the year before that. So this is, I think, Patrick Beverly's second year as a Clipper, correct?
No, Beverly's been there for 5 years, actually. He's been a real good player.
All right, so a couple years. They lost Patrick Patterson. They lost Clint Capella. Are you kidding me right now? Are you kidding? That is nowhere near the same. Oh, and Russell Westbrook went to Washington. That's nowhere near the same thing. What are we talking about?
I mean, look, when it comes to the huge turnover of the Rockets roster, there's only 4 players from the 2020 roster that's in 2021. 4. That's it.
Bro, make it make sense. I'm laughing because I think Buck is trying to troll me right now.
And by the way, those players are Danielle House. He was one of them. The other one is
whose house?
Eric Gordon. He's the second one.
No, whose house?
Daniel House.
Don't get that shit out of here.
Never heard of him.
Exactly, he's a Rocket already.
Eric Gordon probably pissed off he's still in use. Eric Gordon probably still pissed off he ain't used.
No, but seriously, like try to make it make sense. The only players left from that Houston Rockets team last year is DJ Wilson, Sterling Brown, Daniel House, and Eric Gordon. Make it make sense.
Did you just hear what he said? 3 out of 4.
Make it make sense.
Ain't no. Don't make me.
PA, last year's team, Tyson Chandler, gone.
I'm about to get ignorant.
Austin Rivers,
get ignorant.
gone.
Maybe the Rockets doing what Philly been doing for years.
Yo, I can't with this. I can't. Buck, you really are trying to argue this? When Harden went to Houston, who was on the team? Are you kidding me right now?
I know because I have family in Houston. I know who's on the team.
Maybe the Rockets doing what Philly been doing for years.
Right.
Tanking.
No, but when Harden went to Houston, Harden wasn't the only player that went to Houston. Cut it out. Cut it out.
I mean, I have it right here, fam.
Yes, please give it to him, Rocco, because I just know he's trolling now. This is what we call trolling. Go ahead.
I mean, look, the first year where James Harden, they had 54 and 28. They were second in the division. I mean, here's who they had. I mean, they had Aaron Brooks, who at the time was, he wasn't bad. You had Patrick Beverly. You had Jeremy Lin. You had Ronnie Brewer, Dwight Howard. You had Chandler Parsons before he became irrelevant. And you had Robert Covington.
And he had who?
Robert Covington.
And you had
Nice
the
ball
power
player.
forward.
Jalen Parsons was nice. Dwight Howard was still playing at a high level. Go ahead and tell me again. Who they bench?
Parsons,
Can you give me their bench?
Their bench, they had Isaiah Cannon, Amar Asic, Terrence Jones, Ronnie Brewer, Amar Kasaspy, Josh Powell, and Troy Daniels.
Again, don't please stop telling me he had nobody, as if Harden was just the man like that. Are you kidding me?
And
Nah,
also
that
Kevin
sound
McHale
like
was the head
Warriors
coach.
players. No, it don't. Hell no. Hell no. Hell no, it don't sound like Warriors players with Curry. No, I don't.
I don't think there's anybody on the current Warriors team that is anywhere near Dwight Howard from that time period.
Or matter of fact, let's be clear. The only person that's better than Robert Covington on that starting lineup, besides obviously Draymond Green, who does what he does defensively, is Andrew Wiggins. Other than that, and that's a stretch, and that might even be a stretch because Covington can ball.
Shout out to Kevon Looney.
Come on, Lord. Man, if you don't get this shit out of here, you don't get that crap out of here. That ain't no Warriors players with Curry. Are you kidding me? Wow. Can you look up what their averages was?
That season?
Yes.
Okay. That season, Harden averaged 25, 6, and 4.
25, 6, and Buck. I'm gonna look you dead in your face.
Oh, and then Dwight Howard averaged 18, 12, and 1.
There's no player on the Warriors that averages 18, 12, and what other Warriors player averaged 18 and 12?
I just realized that Dwight Howard doesn't like giving the ball to people. Only averaged 2 assists per game.
System. Houston play no defense. Now you coming up with excuses. It sounds like an excuse. We know Mike Antonio don't even preach defense.
But wait a minute. Wait. Chuck, you just got caught. This is during the Kevin McHale era.
Yes, it
Mike
was.
Mike D'Antoni isn't even here yet.
Right. Oh, yeah, 27. Yeah, he wasn't even. That's right. He wasn't even there yet. That's right. That's Kevin McHale's era before he left. Oh, my God. Buck, you keep it up. Keep it up, Buck. Keep coming with the excuses, Buck. So who else? What was the rest of them? Give me Chandler Parsons' numbers.
He averaged 16, 5, and 4.
Bro, I'm done.
What's the next game, Dre?
Buck, you want to keep this going? Dwight averaged 18. Chandler Parsons averaged 16. Now tell me somebody else that's on the Warriors team right now.
I mean, really, to add more of a dagger into this, 6 players on the Rockets that year averaged 10 points or more.
Done. I'm done.
What's the next game, Dre?
But thanks for coming. Thanks for coming on the topic. That's all I'm gonna say. Thanks for coming. Rock tag team, bro. Tag team doing that like it's old school. Like it's nobody's business. Tag team. I'll slap the mic and act like it was your hand. Bro. Harden. I'm done. Next, what was the next joint? Oh my goodness, we've been talking basketball, man. And you know what? And I'm gonna be honest with you, it's already been an hour and a half. I think we're gonna let this thing ride on just basketball alone. We're not gonna bring football up. We'll talk football probably another time. We'll talk football another time. We'll do a whole full football segment next time. And then we got a Jaw You segment to do. He said that was fun. Yeah, it was fun, Buck. You over here trolling. Of course it's fun, Buck. Of course it's fun.
You the fire starter.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
By the way, I think Ron was gonna ask a question at one point, but I forget what he was gonna say.
Who, Ron?
Yeah, I remember we were talking about the Rockets, and he was about to say something about the Nets, and then we cut him off.
Oh yeah, sorry. What was that comment about the Nets?
I was trying to get to the Nets.
Now, oh, he said next, not next.
I thought you were saying Nets. I'm like, oh,
No,
Brooklyn.
he said
Okay.
next. He's trying to get to the next. Ain't no
I'm
more
trying to
games.
move on.
Ain't no more games, right? Hey, what games
All
we
right,
got?
scroll along.
Uh,
Scroll. Just scroll.
I will talk about the Nets. Yeah.
Right, the next game, not the next game.
But
Nah, ain't no more games to get to though, right?
let's talk about Brooklyn, though. I would like to talk about them
Where's Brooklyn at? Where's Brooklyn at?
because everybody been out the big three, so you don't really know what you're gonna get with those three on the court at one time.
I don't think that matters.
I think it do matter a lot.
I mean, really, to put it into perspective, in a 72 game season, Kyrie only played 54, Durant only played 32, and Harden only played 35. I mean, that's a lot of games missed.
Okay, but when we are legitimately okay, we are legitimately talking about we're talking about probably 3 of the top 15 best players in the world playing all at one time.
Dre,
I don't think. Let me go ahead. Go ahead. I know what you about to say.
you're a basketball coach, right?
Yes. I tell
Okay, you got to play. You got to play with your teammates for how long? A long time, right?
Chemistry.
Okay.
I will say, I'm glad that y'all said that, but I'm telling you, talent makes up for a lot.
But
Well, you can,
Perfect example. Perfect example. Did you watch the Coach Kyrie movie?
yes,
That's the perfect example of talent making up for a lot.
but talent just to take you so far, Dre. You should know that.
So guess what? They get more continuity as they play in the playoffs because all 3 of them will be at 100%. You better believe
You should, because Kyrie Irving mind somewhere else.
Oh, his mind is on. You know what? I don't blame. Hold on, watch this. His mind being on those issues they're on. I don't blame him. He's right though. I'm gonna be very honest with you. A lot of people don't like it. A lot of people don't like it because he's like, oh, he's a basketball player and that's all he should do. That's what people think. But guess what? I do not Kyrie Irving for having the mindset that he has, saying that there's more important issues than basketball. In fact, I'm gonna say one even more. I'm gonna go even further. A lot more basketball players, if they had that same notion that there are more important things than just playing basketball, a lot of things could get done and be different. I mean, we talking about millionaires upon millionaires.
I mean, I know that, but
Change that hell of a lot of stuff.
you still got to be in. You got to be in a zone when it comes to that playoff.
He didn't say that he didn't think about basketball. He just said that it was other things that are more important, which I agree. There's a lot of things that are more important. We talk sports, and that's great, and I love it to death. But there's a lot of issues out in the world that are important, that are more important, and that's fine. I mean, we got a community side that talk about a lot of those issues. That it's important. I ain't gonna knock him for saying that. And anybody who knocks him for saying that, I think has an issue with actually caring about what's really going on. Because if you really, really look out your window, this ain't no joke. Kyrie and Kimba get to go to war. That's good. Tatum and Durant get to go to war. Durant about to, but Harden has Smart. Good matchups. Oh yeah, that's a good matchup. And I'm gonna tell you.
Is he back yet?
Who?
I thought Marcus Smart got injured.
No, Marcus
He
Smart.
came back. He came back
okay.
in the game.
Okay.
Yeah, he got.
I think he just rolled his ankle or something like that.
If they had Jaylen Brown, I'd say this series is gonna be a real tough one. But
I would say it goes 7.
Yeah, after watching Tatum have to put up 50 to beat the Wizards, this is gonna be a scorcher.
So who you think will Who you think will show up to help Jason Tatum with Boston?
The two that he mentioned. The two that he mentioned has to show up. Kimba has to show up. Kimba cannot slouch in this series whatsoever. There's no slouching for
I
Kimba this
think
series.
I think he will not show up once
Okay.
again.
Okay. I ain't gonna be
Once
mad
again,
about that.
there's another player that had not played in big time games.
Okay. And I'm gonna tell you this: I'm not gonna be upset if he don't show up. Marcus Smart better show up defensively too, because I'm telling you right now, this Nets team can be a nightmare offensively.
Yeah,
It's gonna be a nightmare.
They're like 7 games.
And remember,
Right
you
there.
said that they only played 7 games with each other, and they're a nightmare. They've been a nightmare the whole season offensively without everybody playing. So what you think they're gonna be with everybody playing?
Whew.
Mm-hmm.
That's a
But
problem. You got 3 players who can literally drop 30 a night.
But I want to see them go against the 76ers, the Miami Heat, somebody like that. They got the same superstars on the team.
All right, but we gotta ask this though. When it comes to Boston, their current starting lineup, I don't know if their starting 5 is absolutely complete. I mean, they have. I mean, they do have.
Blake?
Is Kemba out or is he playing?
No,
Kimbo playing.
Okay, so then it's Kemba at the 1. I know Marcus Smart's at 2.
2.
I think Aaron Nesmith. I think he's at the 3.
Please don't name people who are non-existent. He's not going to matter.
And then Jason Tatum at the 4, and then it might be Thompson at the 5, if I remember.
Thompson is a non-factor.
He's not a factor no more.
He never was.
Okay.
Yeah, back in the day when he was playing with LeBron with the Cavs, maybe.
Trash.
Okay.
Maybe.
Trash. He another one that had Krispy Kreme with no glaze in the finals twice too. Trash. Don't like
so
him.
Now in Boston, no.
Nah. They don't got enough. Blake Griffin too is an X factor in this series. If Blake Griffin get off. If Blake Griffin can get you 12 to 15, it's a wrap. This series is on.
But the question is, but that's a huge if though. If he can do that for you,
that's a huge if. Blake getting you 12 to 15, that ain't a huge if.
Hey, I've seen it before.
Okay. I didn't say 22 to 25. I said 12 to 15.
Look, I'm gonna say this.
I mean, he's averaging 12, 5, and 4. So it's not.
And he's got limited time. How many minutes do he play?
He plays around 30, around there.
So around 30. Now he averaged 12 and 5 with 3 other players that score.
If
2-3 other players who score. Okay, so watch this. I guarantee you the lineup is going like this. When Brooklyn hit that floor for the playoffs, I guarantee you at the 1, Kyrie. At the 1, James Harden. At the 2, Kyrie. At the 3, Durant. At the 4, whatchamacallit, Griffin. And at the 5 is gonna be
I have it right here.
Go ahead.
DeAndre Jordan.
Yes, thank you. There it is.
You have to remind me of that. Okay.
Yep.
From what I see right here with their current depth chart, you got Kyrie at the 1, you got Harden at the 2, Joe Harris at the 3, Kevin Durant at the 4, and DeAndre Jordan at the 5.
So, wait a minute. That means Blake get to come off the bench?
He's coming off the bench.
Oh yeah, that's even better.
I feel say if they don't make it to the East Finals, do it speak how bad Blake is, or just they cannot get it done, or they need more time?
I think that would be called putting all your eggs in one basket.
Yes, it would be. It would be called the ultimate choke too. I'm sorry, I don't like using the word choke, but that is the ultimate choke to me.
Because you got everybody on your team, right?
By the way, DeAndre Jordan plays defense too. I don't know if people know that, but DeAndre Jordan can get up.
Oh, can I mention that there's like 4 Clippers on this team? Landry Shamet, Blake Griffin, Jeff Green, and DeAndre Jordan.
Yes,
and they got Jeff Green.
Yes, Jeff Green is off the bench too.
Look, it should be a freak with Boston.
It probably
With
will
Jeff
be a
Green.
sweep. It
Because
probably will be a sweep.
Jeff Green.
Breaking news. I'm having a hamburger and French fries from
I showed that.
Whataburger.
I showed that earlier. You ain't see I put that up.
So
it's overrated.
They got all this. They should make it to the finals.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And if they don't, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Because I as much as they may not have all the defense, I think that they have enough matchup wise to be able to get through. Matchup wise, they have enough. Like,
but I don't think DeAndre Jordan the matchup with Bam.
But I guess the question I really have to ask.
I don't think so. Bam the shoot threes.
We talking about the Bam from Love and Hip Hop, or we talking about?
No, I talk about Bam from Miami.
Right, but I think the problem with the Brooklyn Nets, a lot of people are going to overlook. There's only 4 players on the team that played like 95% of the season. Joe Harris, Jeff Green, Bruce Brown, and Landry Shamet. Outside of Joe Harris, those are none of your starters. Like, you have one starter who played all the majority of the season.
I'm about to find out that talent makes up for a lot.
But once again, Bam to get hot in the day now and just go off in Miami Heat. He did shoot threes. DeAndre Jordan can't do that.
We know. We gonna see. We gonna see though. I'm gonna see that's gonna be a good matchup if it comes to it. Brooklyn and Miami, that'll be a good matchup.
I think if it comes to it, though the Miami, the 76ers, and the Nets.
So how much scoring do you have with the 76ers that's gonna keep up? That's my ultimate question.
Philadelphia actually has got like 5 or 6 really good scorers on the team, though.
Go ahead. I'm out there.
But that Blake is the wild card.
Hold on. Put them out there, though. Put out those scores.
Well, I mean, they got 5 guys who scored more than 10 points and more than 10 points. Embiid, Harris, Simmons, Milton, and Curry. I mean, those 5 scored more than 10 points.
Wait a minute. Milton, and Seth Curry?
Yeah, alongside Ben Simmons, Harris, and Embiid.
Wait a minute.
Both non-factors in playoff play. Both of them.
Wait a minute. Simmons got to get a jump shot.
Both
he
of
got
them.
to.
So you got to rely on Ben Simmons to score. That's out number 1 already.
And then they got guys coming off the side like Danny Green and Korkmaz.
Danny Green playing the NBA now?
Yeah, Danny Green's played the entire season.
Wow.
Yes, he has. But ain't
in fact, Danny Green, Dwight Howard, Milton, Harris, and Maxey played all.
They got Dwight Howard too. They do got Dwight Howard.
You know Dwight Howard don't got no jump shot.
I gotta see DeAndre Jordan versus Dwight Howard. That'll be it.
You know Dwight Howard don't got no jump shot.
I mean, he has averaged 7 and 8 this year, so not bad.
Yeah, they're about dunking. He did dunk over anybody, but a jump shot, no.
7 and 8. Wow. The downward spiral that Dwight Howard has taken from being the superstar that he was supposed to be to 7 and 8. All right. With that being said, that is a conversation for another time. Rocco, I know you got a show to get prepared, get ready for it. So we're gonna leave at 7:58. See y'all later. This was NBA talk from us. We had fun. We're out of here. See you later.